Next speaker, we are very glad to welcome from a long trip, Aviv Sher, who is the CEO of Codere Online. We all know Codere and the important position this company has in the Spanish gambling market. Thus, we are particularly happy to welcome Aviv here with us today in Madrid. Aviv, welcome, and we are glad to have you as a speaker. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oops. Yeah, my team is making noise.
Yours.
Thank you. Hi, good morning. I'm happy to be here and to talk a little bit about the Spanish regulation. I have a few familiar faces in the audience, so thank you. I'll apologize because I didn't prepare a presentation, so you'll have to concentrate on what I'm saying. A few remarks after Shabi and Jorge or George, remarks regarding the regulation. At Codere, we see the regulation as an important part of our work in Spain specifically and globally as well. We work very hard to accommodate the regulator needs, and we believe strongly in regulation. But we have this small fear here in Spain that over-regulation is just around the corner. We are in close contact with other operators, and we are well aware that the black market is rising as the regulation here in Spain is tightening. So it's important from an operator perspective that the regulation will be as stable as possible. And it's part of the things that I will talk about in the next few minutes, how we see the regulation and how we see it as well from an advertising perspective. For sure, any deposit limits eventually will push the players to find other alternatives to deposit with more ease. And those alternatives in the black market are super easy. So from our point of view, over-regulation and the lack of enforcement of the law are crucial. While talking to other operators as well, we identified that discussions with the regulator can help. And I think the main KPI that the regulator should look at is the amount of taxes that they can collect, instead of how to limit the market and push it towards the black market and to areas where they cannot regulate and where we cannot help problematic players to get the advice and the counsel that they need. For us, advertising and working in a regulated or hyper-regulated market is a challenge for a few reasons. Here in the Spanish market, what we see on a constant basis is that the regulator is not stable. He is surprising us with new rules and not enough time to adapt to those rules. Even during the timeline of, let's say, between 2020 to 2021, all the advertising regulation has started. And then in 2023 and 2024 came in the safe regulation, the safe gambling laws. And then in 2024, which is only a year later, all the reporting and SCI regulation on how to report to the regulator came. All those have a significant impact on platform and require complex technology adaptations. And the result of those adaptations and requirements are, I cannot say that they are hurting our business, but instead of focusing on our business, what we do most of the time in Spain is focusing on how to make the regulator happy and how to avoid fines or things like that. We are getting fines for people that play for 20 minutes prohibited player that played for 20 minutes for some kind of a problem, we are getting a fine for 100,000 euro or 150,000 euro. Those fines are harsh, and a lot of times we think that they are unfair. Especially when we are looking at our black market competitors that are basically doing whatever they want, advertise wherever they want, and the enforcement on those operators is almost non-existent. While we see in other markets, those black markets operators are being blocked, whether it's through technology or through criminal offense allegations or through any other means that is able to block the market. But here in Spain, the regulator is, I can't say quite nice to them, but I think the steps that he's taking in order to prevent this are not enough, and eventually hurt our business, because we are trying to be as regulated as possible and to follow the guidelines, not to get fines every other month for small misalignments. The focus on regulation, as we see it, eventually hurt also our players, because today I think with Codere as, let's say, a small capacity business, technology business, around our 80% of the capacity of our technology development is devoted to develop new regulation requirements. While doing so, basically what happens is something that Jorge also, I think, pointed out. The experience that we are able to give to the player gets lower and lower, and we are not able to provide the best gaming experience out there, because we are all the time focusing on how to create the next pop-up that will block a session after 20 minutes for a player playing in a roulette or playing in a slots. So while we focus on small things and a very detailed one and a very technical regulation requirements, eventually we are preventing from creating a better user experience, better flows, better cash in, better cash out, dealing with problematic players, and so on. Again, I have to reiterate that we are very in favor of regulation. I think it's very good for the country, but I think over-regulation is dangerous, especially when we already have the regulation framework here in Spain. I think it's working well, and right now our fear is from some kind of deposits limit or cross-sell deposits limit, although the numbers here that George presented earlier are small. We are still think it's a risk to the business, and will push more and more players to search for black market alternatives. This is the part about regulation. Now let's talk a little bit about advertising in a regulated market under restrictions, and how we are approaching this challenge. Basically, we are looking at 3 pillars: our brand, our customer-centric approach, and from product point of view and technology. In the last 3 years, Codere invested more than 70 million euros into advertising, trying to promote our brand and to be able to place ourselves among, let's say, top 5 to 6 operators in Spain, with some local sense, local scent, and to be able to accommodate and to compete with the large operators that are coming from outside, whether it's 888 or Bet365. So we are trying to be a little bit more localized, and to use our retail presence and our shops and our history and heritage here in Spain to promote our brand. What helped us a lot to build the brand here in Spain, except the money spent into advertising, is our sponsorship with Real Madrid, that eventually co-branded our brand with one of the strongest brands in the world. We keep using this sponsorship outside of Spain, in LATAM right now, and we use this strategy in other markets as well. Unfortunately, while the advertising ban here eliminates our ability to associate our brand with the Real Madrid brand, we had to stop, but we still have the tailwind from those years of good partnership with them. The second point is the customer-centric approach. We invested a lot of time, energy, and our development resources, while they are not into the regulation part. We did enhance our CRM capabilities and our payment gateway capabilities in order to give the players the best experience we can give online, so they can feel that they have ongoing relationship with us as a brand, an ongoing relationship with us as a gaming hub for them, whether it's for sport betting or for casino betting, and trying to give a unique experience to our players. We have made several activations. For example, we make what we call Copa Codere, which we bring local teams from around the world, mainly from LATAM and Spain, to compete each other, and eventually they have the final here in the Bernabeu. Those activities help us build our brand and build our retention and our connection to the players. Another area that we are heavily investing in is the iGaming part, which means casino games and casino technology. As you saw the numbers here on the board from Jorge earlier, from George earlier, the casino business in Spain is growing rapidly, and back on that wave, we have enhanced our casino offering to our players, and this enhancement basically made the company grow, and this part of our revenue grew a lot. We report it publicly, so it's not a secret. The casino part, we are growing a lot, and I think we are doing a nice job over there, able to give a very nice experience to our players. So that's it. As I said, I'll just summarize with a few words that the regulation in some way helped us. The market is more concentrated and we have less competitors, but over-regulation is something that we are looking closely, and hope that some of the things will be able to change with the dialogue with the regulator, so we can continue doing good business, good regulated business here in Spain, and to be able to push our players and to play responsibly, and to continue and to give good experience to our players. I think I'm on time.
Perfectly on time.
Thank you.
But Aviv, please stay here for a second.
Okay.
I would like to see if there's a question from the audience. So we have a question on Slido, but maybe there's a question from the audience. It's not every day that you can ask somebody like Aviv questions. If we have no questions from the audience, we have a backup question here from Slido. Aviv, the $1 million question. What do you think is the single biggest factor behind Codere's success?
Okay, I'll give the politically correct answer. I don't think there is a single thing. Of course, the team here in Codere is a good factor, but I think one of the biggest changes that we introduced to Codere in the past years is more focus into the casino and iGaming business. I think this represents now most of the growth that we achieved in Spain, and I can say also globally. So I think the growing of this casino business and casino product is one of the key successes that we are having as Codere Online.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
part of the secret of Codere we now know.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Aviv.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.